Hello folks, my name is Mark, this is Why I Hate the World. How you guys doing? So, just like the Thundercats Roar fiasco from a few weeks ago, we also have a new She-Ra show coming out that's going to be on Netflix, and once again, all the nerds are in total meltdown. So, before we start here, as a child, I want to let you know that I was a massive He-Man fan. I had all of them. I had every single figure. You can see kind of behind me here, I actually have a couple of shelves. These are the Masters of the Universe Classics, and these right here are actually vintage figures. Right. So I have a couple of shelves of them now, but as a child, I had every single one. I had Castle Grayskull, I had Snake Mountain, I had Point Dread, I had the three Eternia Towers, right? Playset that was like, worth all this money nowadays, right? You can't find that thing for less than $1,000. I had that. I had all of the Evil Horde. I had the frickin' Horde Zone, Fright Zone, right? With a little rubber puppet that came out. I had a bunch of the vehicles, right? There was like one figure that I was missing, which was like Ninjor, I think. Like, I had all of them, Scareglow, everything, right? King Randor, the Sorceress, all the ones that are like worth all this money nowadays. And then, when I was 13, I gave them all to charity because, I'm a man now. I don't need no toys, right? So that's what happens when you turn into a teenager and, you know, you leave childish things behind, and then you grow up and you get middle-aged and you spend your life savings trying to acquire all of the childish things that you mistakenly got rid of. So, circle of life, folks. So first off, there's some people that no matter what you do to it, they want it to be exactly the way it was when they were a kid. Right. There are people that if you just change it even a little bit, if you update it even in the slightest, they'll just go crazy because it's not exactly how they remember it. And they're not getting 100% of their nostalgia, coming back to them. And to those people, I gotta say, just go watch the original then. If you're so mad that the thing that you like has been changed like by the tiniest percentage in order to update it for modern audiences, you can always just go watch the original series. It's on DVD, it's on fucking Netflix, go watch it. Alright. For everybody else, like that show, wouldn't fly today. I don't know if you've watched it recently, it's horribly outdated. Alright. And if you want it to be introduced to a modern audience, you need to update it a little bit. Right. So to the people out there who are saying that, it's not as detailed, that the animation is going to be crappier because it's a different style, they don't like that Cal art style or whatever. To them I want to say, go watch the original, right? Because the original has the shittiest animation of all time. Right. If you haven't seen it lately, the old He-Man and She-Ra shows are incredibly cheap. And I say this as someone who watched it every day. I watched it, after school every single day. I was the prime age for this stuff, right? I had all the toys, and I was like a massive fan. I had like the comics and the sticker books and all that stuff. And I can tell you right now, that show, the animation in that show fucking sucks. Right? I thought so even as a child. I thought the animation was crappy. They repeat the same sequences over and over and over. So you see He-Man running, and it's the same sequence of him running, and then they'll have somebody else running like fucking, Triclops. And it's the same sequence again, just with Triclops' head on top of like the body, the stock body, right? It's filled with shit like that, cost-saving measures and repeated animation, and it's like, damn. So don't tell me that the fucking animation in the new one is gonna be cheap. There is a 100% chance that the animation in the new series is gonna be better, especially when all we have are like 3 screenshots. You can't judge an entire series by 3 screenshots, right? Now the remainder of the complaints out there are of the sort of, culture war-esque type where they say, the SJWs are taking over. As an example of how they're taking over, this She-Ra is not feminine enough. Basically, they're people who are mad because She-Ra doesn't have tits. And that's what it is in this show. And they're like, she's not feminine enough. She looks too much like a boy. And then some people just take that to the ridiculous extreme and say that it's going to be, gay and all of this other stuff. And it's like indoctrinating children. And, She-Ra's going to looks like a trans boy and all this other crap, right? And you know what? Here's the thing, okay? There will most likely be a little bit of gender bending type stuff going on in this show. All right. I think that's a good thing, personally, some of the best, animated shows out there, like American animation right now, are, they do a lot to kind of, subvert those tropes. The man is always the hero, the woman is always in distress, the woman is always like a female version of the male character, stuff like that. They do a lot to, kind of throw those tropes out the window. Things like Legend of Korra, for example. Even the biggest example that I can think of right off the top of my head is Steven Universe, right? Which kind of annihilates those tropes and runs them over with a steamroller. If you haven't watched Steven Universe, it's probably the best show on fucking TV, right? As far as animation goes, it's really good. It's got a character-driven story and totally just subverts all those gender tropes and puts them on their head and remains a great show, right? In fact, and that's the thing about Steven Universe is that the show is not about that. It's not about gender tropes. It just happens to be something that they address and they do it in such a way that it's no big deal, right? So, okay, to be 100% honest, getting back to She-Ra, if they made She-Ra, this sort of tomboyish, lesbianish kind of thing, that's not exactly She-Ra's character, but I think if they were to do it in such a way, they could do it in such a way that it makes the show good. Okay. And I have no problem with that at all. All right. I'm waiting to see how it goes. Let's see how they do it. To the other people out there who are complaining about this and saying how it's indoctrinating children to make them gay and stuff like that, I don't know, man. Have you watched the old He-Man TV show, the old She-Ra shows? They're the gayest things ever fucking made. All right? The old She-Ra show has a rainbow, dwarf furry that hides in every episode, right? Who's a walking fucking gay pride flag. He-Man himself is the gayest thing that's ever been made. I mean, he's got this S&M fucking sex harness, right? He's butt naked walking around in a loincloth and shit, furry underwear with a sex fucking S&M torture harness, right? That's He-Man's outfit and a page boy haircut and shit. I mean, come on, this is incredibly fucking gay, all right? I mean, and there's it's great. That's the thing, is that it was awesome, it's not stupid, but watch this show. The show really plays the trope up. I mean, fucking Prince Adam wears pink, and purple fucking spandex. That show, let's not forget, that show created Prince Adam. And Prince Adam was not part of the mythos before the Filmation show. They purposely made him girly, right, to contrast with how He-Man was all big and buff and shit. Even though Prince Adam and He-Man look exactly fucking like, right? It's even worse than the, Superman Clark Kent thing with just glasses. It's He-Man with, fucking lighter skin and, pink underoos on. But so, just when you watch it, I mean, shit. The toy line, the He-Man toy line had exactly 3 female characters in it. An entire fucking 100 characters of just buff naked dudes, 3 female characters. Okay, the She-Ra line was the inverse of that. There was 1 male character in the She-Ra line, and all the rest of them were female. Personally, I didn't buy the She-Ra toys as a kid because they were basically just dolls. You know, they had that hair, the real. They didn't fit in well with He-Man. They were like all. They're basically little mini Barbies. I was like, man, you know, if they would have made them look more like the He-Man toys, I probably would have got them. You know, I do have a couple of the classics though, because those things are fucking awesome. But anyway, you know, it's like, I mean, shit. So anyone who's gonna tell me that the show is gonna turn kids gay, it's like, well, if you watched the old show and you're not gay, there you go. Okay, TV doesn't turn people gay. It's dumb, you know. It's like people have this fucking ridiculous notion that if you watch a TV show when you're 8 years old and there's a gay person in it, that it's gonna force you to be gay. Or if you watch a music video that has gay people in it, or if you listen to some music that has some lyrics about fucking stuff, that it's gonna like suddenly turn you gay. And that's not how it works. All right, you don't just suddenly turn gay because you saw something on TV. That's fucking dumb. So anyway, just want to like, you know, let's wrap this up, folks. It's a TV show, okay? It's a TV show, and it's introducing it to a new generation of people, right? If you don't like how it looks, then don't watch it, okay? The bottom line, don't watch it. No one is putting a fucking gun to your head and making you watch it, all right? And all it's really going to do is create more fans. Those fans are going to like, you know, if they really like it, they're going to explore the other incarnations of the show. They're going to go back, they're going to watch the old She-Ra show, they're going to watch the old He-Man show, they'll watch the 2000X He-Man show and the fucking, you know, movie and all that, and they'll buy the toys, and then some point in the future, another incarnation of She-Ra and He-Man will come out, and maybe that's one that you will like. And that's why, you know, if you're a fan of the old shit, you should support the new shit, because it has the potential to lead to more content that you'll like. Alright? But, you know, this notion that it's fucking destroying the nation's youth and all this other shit, and it's gonna turn people into fucking homosexuals and trans and all this, that's a load of fucking crap. Anybody who thinks that is a goddamn moron. I don't know. I'm gonna watch a show. That's all I got. Adios.